Hi guys, welcome back. We are going to be making one of my famous recipes today. The recipe that I'm going to be showing you to make is the most awesome, delicious chocolate chip cookie recipe that I use in every part of my life. I make them for parties, for family members, for school events, and those kind of things. For a lot of you, you have seen me make these, but I thought this would be a great reminder tutorial about the steps to a good cookie. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. Okay, so the absolute best chocolate chip cookie recipe has 5 stars in my book. Has 2.5 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of butter soft, not melted, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 package of vanilla pudding, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 eggs, and a bag of 12-ounce chocolate chips. Semi-sweet, and I do recommend the Toll House brand. Okay, so we are going to preheat the oven to 375, and then I'm going to mix my dry ingredients in a small bowl and set aside. And then in my KitchenAid mixer, I'm going to mix my butter and sugars until creamy. I'm then going to add my vanilla, pudding, and mix. Slowly add my eggs until blended, and then slowly add my flour mixture to the butter or sugar mixture and fold in the chips. I am then going to let this recipe refrigerate for 1 hour. That's an important step, guys. We don't want to forget that one. For best results, refrigerate your dough for 1 hour. And then after the dough is refrigerated, I'm going to place on an ungreased cookie sheet and bake 10 to 12 minutes at 375 degrees. So let's get started. As you can see, I have my brown sugar out with my dry measuring cup. I have my vanilla, my pudding, and my white sugar. And over here, I have my chocolate chips, flour, salt, and baking soda. Do not forget your mise en place. Have your measuring cups out and ready to go. You're also going to need a hand mixer or stand mixer and a bowl for your dry ingredients. All right, so everybody loves a warm, delicious chocolate chip cookie, and when I found this recipe about 5 years ago, I haven't looked back. This recipe is one of my favorite recipes, and the secret ingredient to my recipe is Jell-O vanilla pudding. However, I do like to get the French vanilla because there is more of a yellow hint of color to it, and they really look like bakery chocolate chip cookies. Okay, so let's get started. First ingredient I need is 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Reminder again, guys, we're gonna scoop and scrape. There's my 1/2 cup. Once I'm done with a piece of equipment, I'm gonna set it aside. And then I need 2 more cups. Scoop and scrape. Looks like I'm down to my little last bit of flour. I love keeping my baking ingredients in these plastic containers. It's just a nice, easy way to keep them fresh. Okay, so the next ingredient on my list is 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And remember, guys, the baking soda box is actually designed with a flap in here. All right. There's a flap that's built in. It's your built-in straight edge, so don't forget that. So we're gonna scoop a big scoop, and we're gonna scrape it along that edge for 1 teaspoon of soda. And something a lot of people, when they make cookies, kind of leave out is the salt, and I say don't do that. The salt actually helps pull out the flavors of your chocolate chips in this recipe. So I'm not gonna measure over my container that I'm working in. I'm just gonna grab a bowl here and measure over that in case I go a little bit much. All right, so then we need a teaspoon of salt. We're gonna shake that up. So what's nice about these is I can pull that off, and I'm just gonna give this a mix. I wanna get that baking soda mixed with the salt into the flour. All right, and then I'm gonna use this measuring spoon again for my vanilla. So I'm just gonna hang that out over there. So I'm all about not having a ton of dishes at the end. So that just gets set aside. Okay. Now for the fun part. This is my KitchenAid stand mixer. I've had this little guy for a while. It makes mixing things so much more simple. So in my KitchenAid stand mixer, I'm gonna add my 1/4 cup of white sugar. And then I need 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. When you measure brown sugar, we wanna measure brown sugar like it's in fact sand at the beach. All right, I know a lot of us are stuck inside right now, so if you wanna close your eyes and pretend that you are at Outer Banks, North Carolina, or down in Vero Beach, Florida, with the sand between your toes, fine. But when I dump this out, it should stay like a sandcastle in my bowl, okay? We wanna pack it so it is a sandcastle in our measuring cup. Now, I've had a lot of students break measuring cups before, so you might wanna hold it like this. We need 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar for this recipe. So I'm just taking my spoon. You can also use, a lot of times I won't use the spoon, I'll just use the edge of my container, which is so nice. So there's my 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. All right. And then we need a cup of butter. So our cup of butter, on the stick here, if you want to come a little closer, on the stick, it'll tell you how much it is, how many tablespoons are in a 1/2 cup. So we look really close here, it says 8 tablespoons equals a 1/2 cup. Well, we need 1 cup. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need 2 sticks of butter for this recipe to equal 1 cup. So we're gonna go ahead and add that. Okay, so now I named my KitchenAid Little Blue after my original truck when I was a teenager. We're just gonna give that a good mix. We do not wanna use melted butter. Melted butter will make your cookies bake a little bit like flat cow patties, okay? We don't want melted butter, we wanted soft butter. I pulled that butter out this morning knowing I would do this demonstration for you guys today. So we wanna get it light and creamy. So I'm gonna pause my mixer. I'm gonna scrape it down. Okay, get that good and mixed. Okay, so while that's finishing, I'm gonna go ahead and crack my eggs. I'll be right back. All right. So I have 2 cracked eggs in my cup. I have my vanilla pudding. And it's time to add these 3 ingredients and the vanilla to my recipe. So we're just going to open that up, stick it down in there. Oh, it smells good. I wish you could smell through the screen there, guys. It smells amazing. All right, a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I use the Real Deal pure vanilla extract. It does make a difference. If you don't have the real stuff, use the imitation vanilla. Something's better than nothing. And then I'm going to slowly mix that. Once the vanilla pudding starts to become taken up by the dough, the butter and the sugars, I'll then slowly add my eggs. All right, and then I'll mix that. Okay, and pause it. I'm going to go ahead and scrape down because we want all that pudding to get into our dough. And this is how you make any simple cookie recipe. You're always going to keep your flour separated from your sugars. Once your sugars and fats are blended together, then we're going to slowly add our flour into our recipe. Okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my brown sugar cup, I'm gonna turn it on low, and I'm gonna add a little bit of my flour mixture at a time. This recipe makes about 24 to 28 pretty good sized cookies. The fun part about this recipe is once you make them, you get to go take a break and read a book while they refrigerate for that hour. You don't want to miss that refrigeration step. And that's what's going to be the next step in this recipe. Okay. I got to go grab another measure. I'll be right here. All right, so let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and push my dough down. It's pretty firm at this point, and that's okay. It's firm at this point. And then we're going to add our chocolate chips. So I don't mess around. This girl buys bulk chocolate chips. Okay, her Uncle Herb and her mama keep her in supply of the bulk chocolate chips. These are important.
Stop.
Okay, thank you, Abby. She's grounding me, folks. She's grounding me. Okay, so what I'm going to do...
Stop.
Okay, all right. I'm going to add 12 ounces of chocolate chips, which, in my opinion, you know, we're just going to scoop. Chocolate is love, people. Chocolate makes us happy. So we're just going to add enough until that mixer sounds happy. Most people, if you're not making a mess, you're not doing it right, daughter. Most people only buy a bag of chocolate chips, and you're just going to add the whole bag to the mixer bowl. All right, now, darling daughter, why do we not eat raw cookie dough?
Because you can get sick.
What is the sickness that you can get?
I don't know.
It's called salmonella.
Ella.
Okay, guys, and also just a reminder that raw flour is not good for our health either. So those of you out in YouTube land watching this video, please, please, please don't eat raw cookie dough. Especially now, because if you have kidney failure and have to get to a hospital, chances are it's not looking too good for you getting into a hospital.
Mom, people are watching this so they don't have to hear about that.
Okay, sorry guys. You're right. Thank you for grounding me. All right, so we have this delicious, look at that. It's beautiful. It's not over mixed. The chocolate chips are in there just right. All right, I am gonna cover this and put it in the refrigerator. And in about an hour, I'll see you while I show you how to put them on a pan and bake them up. Hi guys, so our cookie dough has been refrigerating for 1 hour. And I'm going to show you how to put it out on the baking sheets so we can start making some homemade chocolate chip cookies. Okay, so I'm going to remove my press and seal. And you're going to need a baking pan, and then also I love to use an ice cream scoop. We don't want to make our cookies, we don't want to roll them. We just really want to scoop them out of the bowl and then set them on the cookie sheet. You do not need to spray your pan or your slip cap for this recipe. There's plenty of butter in this recipe. So you're just gonna continue to scoop them out onto the pan until you use up all the cookie dough. So if you refrigerate your cookie dough for longer than an hour, say you made these yesterday because you want them to be fresh and hot for your company tonight, you're going to want to let them set out at room temperature for 2 hours before you scoop them, or they will not do what you want them to do in the oven. They will not spread out. They'll just stay little cookie dough balls in the oven. So this recipe makes 24 very good sized cookies. These cookies with the pudding in the batter will actually stay soft, and they have a soft and chewy texture to them. And these are our family and friends' favorite chocolate chip cookies. So I am gonna go ahead and bake these, and when they're ready to come out of the oven, I'll show you what they look like at the end. All right, see you in a little bit. Okay, so we're back. The cookie timer is going off, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull out our cookies and set them up here. So ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, there's a nice brown top on them. They are a little gooey in the middle, and that is completely normal. Actually, cookies will finish baking on the pan for 5 to 7 minutes after you pull them out of the oven. So I'm gonna set these right here and let them finish baking for 5 to 7 minutes, and then when they come out and that 5 to 7 minute time is up, I have my cooling rack and my little pancake turner here. I'm gonna take them off and let them finish cooling right here on this rack. So they're done cooling, we can go ahead and put them on a plate